Hello everyone, Sagayote here, and I'm going to be... Ah, damn it, hold on, sorry. I forgot to turn off the sound to my phone. Let's try again. Good evening everyone, or good morning, it's midnight, and I'm Sagayote, and I'm going to be reading SCPs today. Not sure how many. I know I'm going to start with SCP-019, and we'll see how my throat does from there. So let's get started. Item number SCP-019. Object Class Keter. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-019 is to be kept on a wide grate in a 3 meter by 3 meter by 4 meter reinforced concrete room installed with an incinerator. Room is to be kept at 0 degrees Celsius when the incinerator is not activated. An observation chamber separated by a plate glass window is to be used for constant observation of SCP-019. And if/when specimens of SCP-019-2 are observed, the incinerator is to be activated. In the event of an outbreak of SCP-019-2, ordinary firearms are successful in terminating individual specimens, although in the case of a swarm-level outbreak, flamethrowers may be more effective. SCP-019 should be kept in vertical position at all times. Oh, so it's like a boss that can't defend itself, but it'll have others defend itself. Description: SCP-019 appears to be a very large ceramic vase, 1.8 meters in diameter at the mouth and 2.4 meters high. Style and decoration indicate it was created in classical Greece, although conclusive dating is impossible. As the surface is entirely unbreakable by any known means, if a successful method is discovered, SCP-019 is to be destroyed with prejudice. So they can't break it, which is lucky for SCP-019 because they would. Periodically, entities emerge from SCP-019 collectively. These are known as SCP-019-2. The entities vary in many aspects but tend to be small, vaguely humanoid, although they may have animaloid features, and extremely hostile. They often choose to attack with teeth or claws. Although fairly delicate, also surprisingly flammable, they are reasonably strong and pose a considerable threat in large numbers. This looks like a sphinx cat, those naked ones. When kept at 0 degrees Celsius and totally at rest, entities will emerge from SCP-019 at a rate of approximately 1 entity per hour. The following traits are known to affect SCP-019-2's manifestation rate. Movement, so don't move it. Threats, so don't be honest upfront about your desire to destroy it. Extreme temperatures, high and lows. 0 degrees Celsius isn't a low. Sudden shift in surrounding environment, so don't teleport it. Introduction of objects or organisms to the inside of SCP-019 known to cause a flood reaction. So it really does not like that. Traits that may or may not influence SCP-019-2's manifestation rates. Presence of human life near SCP-019. Current weather patterns. Specific individuals near SCP-019. Some individuals seem to affect SCP-019-2's emergence rate more drastically than others. In addition, tipping or tilting SCP-019 will create a reaction as though it was previously filled with SCP-019-2 specimens. Although viewers looking into SCP-019 from above will merely observe a dark hole. Due to the production rate of SCP-019-2 when the object is disturbed, measurement of the internal cavity is difficult, but it is suspected to be inconsistent with outside measurements. Addendum: SCP Document SCP-019-2-A. SCP-019-2 notes as maintained by Dr. Light and Dr. Vox. Blank, blank, blank. SCP-019-2 specimens was removed from containment chamber and kept in reinforced pen, provided with water and live chickens as food. Specimen made quite continuous garbled vocalizations determined to be phonetically similar to ancient Hellenic languages. I've been calling it Hellenic from... Oh, man, I was way off. Although the reason for this is unknown, specimens are still thought to be more intelligent than animals. The specimen lived for less than 48 hours, and a dissection revealed anatomy consistent on a cellular level with normal biology, but with an extremely unstable musculoskeleton structure. Other notable anomalies include an unstable respiratory system, nearly non-existent digestive tract, and virtually no other internal organs. All other captured specimens have followed similar patterns, behavior, and demise. So they're not meant to last. That's what I'm getting there. You come out, you defend the boss, you die. Note: it appears that SCP-019-2 specimens were not intended to live long let's go back. Note: it appears that SCP-019-2 specimens were not intended to live for meaningful amounts of time outside of SCP-019, so saith Dr. Vox. Blank, blank, blank. Containment unit was slightly damaged following prolonged exposure to SCP-019-2 specimen. Missed by the monitoring team because of partial transparency. This has not been noted in SCP-019-2 before. Monitoring teams will report further anomalies. Blank dash blank dash blank. Monitoring teams report some specimens of SCP-019-2 now appear to be significantly more resistant to incineration than others. It is hypothesized that this is a defense mechanism on the part of SCP-019. Blank dash blank dash blank. Most specimens of SCP-019-2 are now all but entirely resistant to the effects of the incinerator. Replacement of the incinerator with an acid bath is being considered. Evolution of SCP-019-2 is being studied, and may be evidence of sentience in SCP-019. And here's the licensing citation that I forgot to show. My bad. SCP-020. Item number SCP-020. Object Class Keter. Special Containment Procedure. Samples of SCP-020 are stored in a series of sealed cultivation chambers inside a sealed containment room at Biological Research Area 12, which is accessible only via airlock. Nutrients are administered via automatic robotic systems as the cultivation chamber must remain sealed at all times. Hermetically sealed, video surveillance cameras are installed within the containment room and must be checked daily for integrity. Any personnel entering the containment room must wear biosafety level 5 equipment, including rebreathers, and undergo full antifungal disinfection upon exiting. So they are not taking this stuff touching people lying down. Unless that's something you gotta do to be disinfungled. Description: SCP-020 is a fast-spreading fungal organism that is capable of affecting the senses and behavior of living creatures, including humans. Samples of SCP-020 exhibit an unknown effect that renders them effectively invisible to direct observation, even when under a microscope. SCP-020 is only visible to humans when viewed through photographic or video surveillance. Once SCP-020 forms a colony, usually within a human residence, it will produce spores that affect the behavior of humans around it. Affected subjects will increase the heat and humidity within their homes to create an environment more suitable to the growth of SCP-020. Affected subjects also become more sociable in many cases and often invite acquaintances to their homes to further spread the organism. As the spores and mold colonies are invisible to affected objects, the mold may sometimes grow directly on living objects. Oh God, it makes you more sociable. That's terrifying. As the spores and colonies within a home approach critical concentration, the health of affected human subjects will rapidly deteriorate, resulting in death. Further spread of the mold may occur as the bodies of any deceased subjects are encountered by emergency responders and healthcare agents, as well as transportation of the bodies to local morgues. SCP-020 was first encountered in Redacted, where an undercover SCP agent noticed dramatic personality changes in personnel working at the local hospital. Upon investigation by a containment team, it was discovered that almost blank civilians had been infected, as well as a majority of the town. The civilian population was terminated and the town incinerated under cover of local flash forest fire. So there's no more fungus there, probably, maybe. To date, over 12 outbreaks of the SCP-020 have been reported. Investigations are currently underway to determine the source of these outbreaks and possible preventative measures. Addendum Addendum 020-1. Excerpts from the audio-video transmission records of Mobile Task Force ETA-10 See No Evil during the initial containment of SCP-020 on Redacted. T2 Lead. Team 2, moving to the Red House. T2 Com. Copy. UAV 1 is picking up one heat signature. A space of time where people were thinking, or stuff was being done. T2 Lead. Team 2 in place, ready to expletive. T2 2. Door opening. At this point, a civilian woman appeared in the doorway holding a kitchen knife. Video surveillance showed that nearly 2/3 of her face was covered by mold growths. Civilian woman. Well, hello there, gentlemen. Care to take a breather inside? T2 Lead. On the ground, drop the weapon. Civilian woman. Don't be silly. Come on in and stay a while. T2 Lead. Stop where you are. Drop the weapon. Civilian woman. We just want to have some guests. Please come in. T2. 2. Drop the expletive weapon. It is assumed at this point the infected civilian noted T2-4 carrying a primed incendiary weapon and lunged toward at the team members with the knife. Civilian woman. Data expunged. T2 Lead. Open fire. Open fire. gunfire, screaming. Okay, so what's interesting here is that the woman understood what the incendiary was going to do to the fungus. So I guess maybe she knew about it, or the fungus is sentient, which is also scary. And then here's the citation. Thank you, Alana from SCP Wiki, for doing this. SCP-021. Item number SCP-021. Object class Safe. Special containment procedures. SCP-021 is an obligate parasite of the human body. Containment, therefore, is no more difficult than containing an adult human. Most cells will surface items. It is currently housed in detention cell 217-A on subject D-139. Only Class D personnel are eligible for hosting SCP-021. As long as given subject survives as a host for SCP-021, he is exempt from normal monthly termination of Class D personnel. So they're not going to kill you if you got this thing on you, so that's good. Maybe, or it's terrible. Description. SCP-021 takes the form of a large and elaborate tattoo of a serpentine dragon in the Oriental style, covering approximately 0.8 square meters of skin. This tattoo is fully animate within the confines of its host skin and behaves largely as a normal animal would, albeit in only 2 dimensions. The tattoo's movements cause constant pain to its host, comparable and similar in character to simulating tattooing and tattoo removal on a large scale. The organism tends to spend most of its time on and near the torso. SCP-021 displays no intelligence beyond basic pattern of feeding and locomotion, although actually measuring the intelligence of a 2-dimensional life form has proven impossible thus far. Well, yeah. How else are you going to test it? You can't. It's 2D, so that means that it can only see. Like if you write something on it, it'll just see like lines. Can you even do a map for it? That's interesting. SCP-021 appears to feed exclusively on pigments in the host skin. This can include melanin, in which case the subject appears to be suffering from vitiligo. However, the organism shows a marked preference for other tattoos and will seek out and devour these before resorting to natural pigments. It should be noted that the feeding process itself, beyond the sensation of movement, is painless. Normal tattoo ink simply vanishes as it's eaten. The organism maintains a constant size and no excretions have been observed. The organism is capable of clearing over 0.6 square meters of skin per hour. One may feed SCP-021 by quickly tattooing fruits or small animals on the host. Man, I mean, I guess they probably don't tell the D class a lot. But if you were a D class and you realized this thing was feeding on tattoos, you'd probably appreciate, whoever's taking care of you or has their eye on you, that, hey, don't worry, this thing does not poop. It's not going to poop on you. We have not seen it leave any excrement whatsoever. You're fine, you're fine, you're fine. Okay, where was I? SCP-021 can be transferred between hosts by various forms of physical contact, with differing rates of success. In the case of successful transfer, the organism simply swims from one person to the other. Sexual intercourse appears to be the most reliable method of transfer, and with a 93% rate of transmission. However, due to the severe pain involved, this is less than ideal. Contact between two open wounds is generally preferable. Transfer is more complicated in deceased subjects, though not unreasonably so. The organism suffers no ill effects from the person of its host, from the death of its host, and continues to consume pigments. Transmission between species is unknown. Previous tests suggest it to be either impossible or exceedingly rare. Always wear protection. This is just another reason to. SCP-021 does confer some benefits to its host. The tattoo has been proven to accelerate the release and reuptake of epinephrine and decrease lactic acid buildup, providing a boost of strength, confidence, and pain tolerance in stressful situations, and reducing the usual after effects of weakness and fatigue. In addition, the tattoo seems to have some beneficial effects on the host's immune system. Aggression profiles in hosts are generally higher than average, although whether this is the direct effect of the tattoo or simply a reaction to constant pain remains to be seen. So it's got a little bit of the whole anime tattoo giving you strength type deal, like EA from Yu Yu Hakusho, but instead of being able to shoot fire dragons, you're a little bit stronger and you don't get sick as often, which is still cool. I mean, I would still consider this a cursed tattoo to grant benefits. The symbiotic relationship is usually limited by how long the host can tolerate such pain in everyday life. This has culminated in suicide in a number of subjects. In rare cases, hosts have also fallen victim to fatal skin infections. Okay, so it doesn't make you that much immune to getting sick. SCP-021's origin and nature are a mystery. Tracing its transmission from host to host is hardly feasible within the confines of secrecy, and the organism could well be hundreds of years old, if not more. Nevertheless, SCP-021's captivity is one of the longest in the Foundation's history at nearly data-expunged years, and has been very educational thus far. Current research focuses mainly on observing the characteristics of life in two dimensions. Oh, this one's a little bit long. Well, this is the citation too. Okay. Well, that looks freaky. Is it a bug? Anyways. SCP-021 is not this one. SCP-022 is this one. Item number SCP-0-22. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. A vault door has been installed following Incident 022-827 to seal SCP-022. It is to remain locked at all times, with the sole exception being the appearance of an instance of SCP-022-1. The original door to SCP-022 was destroyed during Incident 022-827, with attempts at replacement being met with failure. Security cameras have been installed to monitor for instances of SCP-022-1. So, I'm assuming there's a lot of problems with this thing because it's at 827. In the event that an instance of SCP-022-1 appears, automated systems should incinerate it at the moment it leaves SCP-022. At this point, the vault door may be unlocked to admit cleanup crews. Should the automated systems fail to destroy the instance of SCP-022-1, response teams are cleared to enter and neutralize it. Under no circumstances may any living human near SCP-022 except at the order of Class 4 personnel for testing purposes. Class 4 personnel may also order instances of SCP-022-1 to be captured and held. However, they may not be removed from SCP-022 containment facilities. Description: SCP-022 is a morgue in the basement of Redacted Hospital in Great Britain. Until 1908 blank, there were no reported anomalous occurrences within the morgue. Reports of strange activity were first received in November of 1908 blank. The area was soon quarantined by Foundation, with an official story being released that the entire building had been condemned. The reason for the sudden manifestation of its strange properties remains under an investigation. Probably a mad ghost. Periodically, a random drawer within the morgue will open to reveal a cadaver under a covered sheet. After approximately 6 minutes, the cadaver will animate and attempt to leave the morgue. At this point, the cadaver is given the designation SCP-22-1. In some cases, the cadaver will be too damaged or decomposed to successfully exit SCP-022, or even rise from the table it lies on. In this case, SCP-022-1 will typically struggle and twitch on the table until expiration occurs. Should an instance of SCP-022-1 expire while remaining on the table slides back into the drawer, which then shuts. Reports indicate that the scent of burnt tissue is evident immediately following such an event. So the problem with zombies... Well, the problem for the zombies, not the living people, is sometimes you might reanimate and you don't have what's needed to be an effective zombie. In a lot of cases, this would result in, just kind of maybe you don't have legs and an arm, and so you're just kind of crawling at a real low speed, or somehow every bone in your body's broken and you're just there waiting, kind of like snapping, hoping something will come step on you. And in this case, when that happens, the morgue will be like, get out, body, and it doesn't, and then it'll, close it and just incinerate the body for being useless. That's good to know. I need some more water. The energy source that sustains SCP-022-1 is currently unknown. Instances do not breathe, eat, or sleep, and their bodies produce no heat. Analysts of SCP-22-1 following expiration has discovered no abnormal organs or chemicals present. They appear to be fully human cadavers. Instances also possess physical strength that exceeds that of normal humans. Though direct testing has proven problematic, researchers estimate the strength increase to be approximately 500 N112 lb of lifting force greater than what one would expect from the human body sharing similar condition. Analyst is underway to determine if this effect is connected to the unknown power source or if it is an entirely separate phenomenon. When the body parts are severed from SCP-022, the portion of the greatest mass retains its effect. All other pieces become inert. Destruction of the head or brain does not neutralize SCP-022-1. Instead, the lower torso and limbs remain animate. Complete tissue destruction appears to be the only method of successfully terminating instances of SCP-022-1. Left alone, instances of SCP-022-1 will simply expire. All motion ceases and they appear to become normal cadavers again. The amount of time this takes depends on how damaged the body is and the rate of decomposition. and can take anywhere between 2 days and 3 weeks. Investigation has revealed that the bodies acting as SCP-022-1 match the description of cadavers reported to have been stolen from morgues across the country. The mechanism for this transfer is currently being researched. Okay, so when bodies at a morgue just suddenly disappear, they're saying that it's this SCP. I didn't know there was an issue of bodies just disappearing from morgues. But after watching shows like Family Guy, South Park, and Rick and Morty, I can imagine why, and I wish I couldn't. Adding any new matter to SCP-022 has thus far proved impossible. Any objects that enter SCP-022 disappear shortly after passing through the door, leaving no trace. This includes inanimate objects and biological specimens. See Addendum 022-001 and 022-002. So long as an instance of SCP-022-1 possesses a functioning mouth, tongue, and trachea, it is able to communicate fully with researchers. See interview log 022-7521. Hold on, I made up a bunch of numbers. See interview log 022-751 for details. How long is this log? God, well, that's not too bad. But should I? Yeah, I better just do it now. Interview log 022-751. Each of the following interviews begins in much the same way. The instance of SCP-022-1 will typically be hysterical until Foundation personnel are able to calm restrain them. These portions have been omitted. So they don't care about the parts where the reanimated dead are freaking out, because I guess it happens so often they don't care. Date: March blank 1980 blank. Interviewee SCP-022-1-2. Interviewer Dr. Blank. I need some more water. Notes: SCP-022-1-2 was the second instance of SCP-022-1 that the Foundation discovered, the first having been destroyed on site by Foundation agents. SCP-022-1-2 had the body of an Asian male approximately 54 years old. Its chest had been stitched up, evidence of an autopsy. Begin log. Not that way. Dr. Blank, please identify yourself. SCP-022-1-2. My name is John Blank. What the hell is going on? Dr. Blank. That's what we're trying to figure out, John. How did you get into this state? SCP-022-1-2. I don't know. I was driving my car coming home from... Never mind. I was driving and I crashed. Dr. Blank. Then what happened? SCP-022-1-2. Nothing. I woke up here. Please, this has to be unintelligible. Dr. Blank. So you remember being in a car accident? Then you woke up here in the morgue? Do you have any idea how you got here? SCP-022-1-2. I didn't get here. Don't you get it? This isn't me. I'm not me. Dr. Blank. What do you mean, you aren't you? At this point, SCP-022-1-2 became severely agitated and had to be physically restrained. This required 6 agents due to the strength increase associated with instances of SCP-022-1. Eventually, SCP-022-1-2 was calmed and the interview proceeded. Dr. Blank, now, would you please explain what you mean? SCP-022-1-2. This is not me. I saw a reflection in the steel. I'm not an old Asian. Fuck, this isn't me. End log. Date: March blank, 1980 blank. Interviewee: SCP-022-1-5. Interviewer: Dr. Blank. Not sure if it's the same doctor as the last time, but I'm assuming it is. Notes: SCP-022-1-5 animated shortly after D5619 was sent into SCP-022 and subsequently disappeared. SCP-022-1-5 had the body of an approximately 12-year-old female missing its right arm and large portion of its torso. Following the incident with SCP-022-1-3, all instances of SCP-022-1 are physically restrained before being introduced to valuable personnel, with SCP-022-1-5 being no exception. So they learned after the first time that you need to restrain the reanimated corpse, that it's a good idea to restrain the animated corpse. Begin log. Dr. Blank, please state your name. SCP-022-1-5. What did you bastards do to me? Dr. Blank, please state your name. SCP-022-1-5. What the fuck did you do to me? Dr. Blank, we have done nothing to you. Now please state your name. SCP-022-1-5. You know who I fucking am? Dr. Blank, refresh my memory then, please. SCP-022-1-5. I'm the guinea pig you just fucked up. Don't tell me you forgot me, Dr. Asshole. Dr. Blank, are you D5619? SCP-022-1-5. In the flesh. And for your information, jackass, my name is redacted. Now change me back, you son of a bitch. Change me fucking back. Sorry. End log. Oh, that was funny. It must have been so cathartic for that D class to finally be able to tell the doctor, tell anybody in the SCP Foundation, fuck, asshole, dick, just to curse at them. It must have felt so good. So good. At this point, Dr. Blank asked SCP-022-5 several questions to verify its identity. Though its identity was confirmed to be that of D5619, no further useful information was gained from SCP-022-1-5. It was kept in a holding cell until expiring 2 days later. After 3 weeks, the body of D5619 animated as SCP-022-1-7. In a brief interview with SCP-022-17, it claimed to be an 89-year-old female. That's interesting. All right, so let's go back and let's just finish this. Yes, we're gonna just finish this. Where did I leave off? Okay, I did this part. So, Addendum 022-001. A request has been submitted to create a new entrance to SCP-022 by removing a portion of the south wall. Request pending approval. Addendum 022-022. Addendum 022-002. A pile of matter was discovered on the floor of the room directly above SCP-022. It appeared to contain all matter that had been sent into SCP-022 with the exception of humans. All materials appeared to be broken and worn down. Metallic components were covered in large amounts of rust, with the biological parts in various stages of decomposition. Testing revealed that the time between inserting an object into SCP-022 and it reappearing above to be precisely 183 seconds. Humans who enter, however, do not appear in said pile. Instead, humans appear to become integrated into the morgue and may later be animated as SCP-022-1. And here's the citation. Oh, a black dog, or a black wolf, or a black lion. I'm gonna have to get some more water soon. Oh, well, here's the citation. In case you were curious, this is the, yeah. SCP-023. Item number SCP-023. Object class Euclid. Special containment procedures. SCP-023 to be contained in a standard 5 by 5 meter unit containment unit. This is scratched out, and the thing about scratched out is I still don't know how to narrate it. So I'm just going to narrate it and just say that was scratched out. SCP-023 is to be contained in a walled-off intersection of two corridors at site blank, with at least 3 meters of space in each direction and false doors at 3 of the 4 ends. In addition to the real door, security cameras will be placed and maintained above all 4 doors. At all times, SCP-023's eye sockets are to be filled with spherical inserts made of hard rubber. Eye inserts must be replaced as they degrade. Degradation can be monitored by measuring the brightness of the burning effect as observed by security footage. Brightness greater than 12 candela requires that the inserts be replaced within 12 hours. Eye inserts are only to be replaced individually and only after the sun has completely set. Personnel are not to look directly into the eye sockets of SCP-023 at any time. Following Incident 023-7, all reflective surfaces, including displays, monitors, and eyewear of any sort, are not permitted within 30 meters of SCP-023 cell. This includes monitors linked to security cameras within its enclosure. Security personnel posted at the checkpoints outside both corridors will enforce and adhere to this measure. Experimentation involving SCP-023 has been suspended indefinitely. Okay, so let's see here. We got 1 hyperlink, 2 hyperlink, 3 hyperlink. I know, spoilers. Okay, so let me be back. I'm gonna get me some water. Sorry about that. I needed water. Alright, let's see. Where were we? Okay, so I just explained this thing. And it needs fake eyes that you can't take out except after sunset. And you need 3 fake doors. Okay, and this was the incident report. That this is why all reflective surfaces are a no. Oh, okay, that's not too long. Incident report 023-027. SCP involved 023. Personnel involved Dr. Blank, data expunged. Date blank blank blank. Location site blank. Description. Timeline of events. 000010. A pair of glass eyeballs are inserted into the sockets of SCP-023 by 2 D-Class personnel. 000015. Glass eyes take on an orange-red glow similar to what SCP-023's real eyes looked like before removal. 000313. Molten glass begins to run out of SCP-023's eye sockets. 000554. Data expunged. Appear on all lenses, windows, mirrors, monitors, and glass surfaces at site blank. 000612. Evacuation of site blank ordered. 065407. Sun visible over the horizon. Class D personnel sent in to check area around SCP-023's enclosure. Data expunged. Gone. Only trace of SCP-023 is a burnt section on the floor around a puddle of colored glass. Personal log of Dr. Blank. Date blank blank blank. It's my fault. I have doomed my research team. And possibly the rest of the facility. All that's left is to keep trying. We must contain SCP-023. Note: on blank blank blank, 1 year after incident, SCP-023-27 blank personnel were interned in an unmarked mass grave outside site blank. So they interned them instead of burning them? That's interesting. And here's the citation. And then I'll go back. Where was I? Okay, here we go. And then I was on description. SCP-023 is a large, sexless, shaggy canine, 1.5 meters at the shoulder with black fur. It has bright orange-red eyes and prominent teeth. See Incident Report 023-26. Anytime an individual makes eye contact with SCP-023, either that person or a member of their immediate family will die exactly 1 year after eye contact is broken. Research into the method of selection is incomplete due to a moratorium on experiments, but the available data suggests that having a larger immediate family lessens the chance of the individual making eye contact themselves dying, and neither a pattern nor a preference in victim type has been found. This may indicate that SCP-023's victim is designated entirely at random, but it is unknown whether this selection occurs at the beginning or at the end of 1 year time period. Attempts to terminate an individual who has made eye contact with SCP-023 and their entire immediate family before a 1 year time period has ended. Data expunged. Red eyes. And then there's another. Oh, okay. Thank goodness. Okay. So I guess I'll read this. I'm going to have to find a way to better do these hyperlinks. So I guess maybe what I'm thinking of doing, at least starting with the next SCP, is I'm going to read the whole thing and then I'll do the hyperlinks in order. Mother's love. The passions of the dead can be vast and mighty, but we are not all powerful. There are things I can never see, things I can never touch, there are things I can never overpower. Because of that, there are many things I can never protect my children who birthed me from. Because of that, oftentimes they die in bitterness and pain. Because of that, their deaths can also be births, hate large and small. Hates are things I can see and touch. I must see and touch them because my children who birthed me cannot. I must protect my children who birthed me where I can, just as my strange brethren are driven to curse them. I do not have the power. I do not have the power. I do not have the power. I do not have the power to unmake hates. The best I can do is bind them to a seal made from things that my children who birthed me can see and touch. The truth of our nature is all we have, and denial of that truth is denial of our power. But more importantly, my children who birthed me can guard themselves against what they can see and touch. The form of a ladybird, beetle, or a butterfly is a fine seal for small hates. In a seal of that size, it's easy for me to reduce the power of their curses to almost nothing. The larger seals need to hold larger hates, are more difficult. A hate sealed as a cat can still cause sickness and misfortune. Then there are vast hates, birthed from wars, plagues that killed together many of my children who birthed me. There are few loves vast enough to deny the truth of their nature. But I have tried once. It was a hate birthed out of smoldering rage of the hearts of so many who died, knowing that their bodies would be burned together in a pit of pestilence and anonymity. I rarely call upon the power of light that brings life to create a seal, but there was little choice against a hate natured so strongly of death. The weakest part of any seal is always its eyes, because they are windows to the soul. My children who birthed me only believe in that as a concept, but concepts are far more real to my brethren, whether they are strange or not. And I than what my children who birthed me would think as a concrete. To line up the windows is to make an open path between a soul and the most vile curse a sealed hate can still inflict. I used every method I knew to reinforce the seal's eyes, but even then I could not stop it from setting a cause of death in anyone who it met gazes with. My blessing could only delay the curse's full effect for a single cycle around the light that brings life. My misguided children, why did you take its eyes? Mother's love. I'll think about this, but I think what it means is this is some kind of goddess, and she's trying to protect people from, I guess, like hollow beings. I don't know. It's ice. Okay, let's see. Children and prominent teeth. See incident report 023. Okay, and then I already got this. So then I see this interested in incident report 023-026. SCP involved 023. Personnel involved. Dr. Blank 5D class personnel. Date blank 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 through blank blank blank. Location site blank. Description: in an attempt to curtail the danger posed by SCP-023, Dr. Blank has approved the removal of both 023's eyes and teeth. Immediately after both its eyes were removed, SCP-023 breached security by vanishing completely. SCP-023 was re-obtained on a stretch of Interstate Blank at 4:37 p.m. and brought back into containment, where D-Class personnel finished pulling its teeth. While the total number of civilians exposed to SCP-023 during this period is unknown, death record monitoring has tied 9 civilian deaths to this incident. Timestamps confirmed over the course of the next 48 hours that SCP-023 vanished only while the sun was visible in the sky from outside Site Blank. Addendum SC023-026-1. As a blank, Dr. Blank has been suspended pending disciplinary review for contributing to, if not directly be responsible for, Incident 023-026. Dr. Blank is now in charge of SCP-023. So are these different? Oh, I guess they're different doctors because it's different lengths in the name. The increased difficulties in containment that have been incurred as a result of Dr. Blank should serve to remind all personnel of the Foundation's purpose: secure, contain, and protect. Research, experimentation, convenience, and even the safety of Foundation personnel are secondary concerns. We are not working to protect ourselves. 05-blank. Addendum SC023-026-2. A total of blank bodies with a time of death exactly 1 year after Incident 023-26 have been identified as consistent with SCP-023 exposure. Man, what a dick. Why take out the names? Dick. And then, okay, so I did this whole part. All right. Autopsies of individuals killed by SCP-023's effects show that while outwardly appearing unharmed, their remains have been filled with highly compacted ash, including but not limited to all organ systems and the circulatory system. Muscle tissue, bones, and the brain tissue universally show signs of exposure to temperatures above blank C Celsius. If not contained in a setting that at least superficially resembles a crossroads, SCP-023 will phase through walls to get to the nearest suitable location, incinerating all material it passed through. SCP-023 was first brought to the Foundation's attention when it attacked a church in Blank while it was in session, killing Blank civilians directly and redacted as a result of eye contact. Following retrieval of SCP-023, Class B amnestics were administered to all witnesses and surviving victims. The incident was covered up as a case of arson. Addendum 023-001. SCP-023 broke containment on blank by passing through its cell wall. Incident 023-1. SCP-023 was later discovered at the intersection of 2 corridors elsewhere on Site Blank. Agent Blank noted SCP-023's similarity to a redacted. Special containment procedures for SCP-023 updated. Assistant Researcher Blank issued a reprimand for negligence. Some more water. Addendum 023-002. SCP-023 has been responsible for deaths of blank personnel and blank civilians since it was first brought into containment on 10/12/94. Addendum 023-003. Request for reclassification to Keter pending. Addendum 023-004. Due to both anomalies focusing on a specific geographical space, their destructive capabilities, and canine appearance, it is possible that SCP-111-1 may be a variant of the same phenomenon observed in SCP-023, or vice versa. Investigation into the origin of both anomalies is ongoing due to the inability to capture SCP-1111 for -1 for study. Investigations are currently focused on SCP-023. And then here's the citation. Yeah, that's kind of long. What time is it? No, I think I'm going to. Well, that's an hour. I think an hour's okay. Gotta give my throat time to recover. But yeah, so this is Sagayote signing out. Thanks for joining me. You guys have a good one. Bye.